I made the fish tacos last week. Turns out they don't like Mexican. Anyways, RuneScape video. What do you guys think of that? Isn't that fun? Look at these big old mutated blood velds with the Santa hats. I wanted to talk about the Sunlight Spear. I am currently on a Leagues server. Leagues will be running for a little while here. Maybe you're watching this immediately upon release. Maybe you're watching this 6 months later when Leagues is not out. The Sunlight Spear is something you can get from Leagues. Now, I think this should be the Raids 4, which is not announced yet, Raids 4 Mega Rare drop. We have had the Twisted Bow for range. We have had the Scythe for melee, which is slash. We have had the Shadow for mage. Now, the only other things that we really have here is like prayer, kind of, different attack styles. I think this the Sunlight Spear could be the equivalent of a Scythe, but for stab instead of slash. Now hear me out. This I'm going to explain. I'm going to crunch some numbers. We're going to look at DPS calculators. We're going to look at all kinds of crazy stuff to see where this could fit in old school RuneScape. What stats would you need to change? How would it work? They can't just bring this directly in right now because it might be a little too overpowered. So we'll take a look. We'll take a look and see what we think. First, though, 92.7% of you are not subscribed to the channel, so feel free to hit that button. We're going to be posting lots more videos, some little flomple thoughts like this one, just some more stuff lined up. So, yeah, okay. So the Sunlight Spear, it has some nice stats to it. Coincidentally, the stats are quite similar to a Scythe already, but with the stats flipped. I think Jagex team is they're looking at this and they're thinking this is a real possibility for the game. It's great. They're really leaning into prayer with the Sunfire gear and the Echo boots and stuff like that. And I think they're trialing it with Leagues. There've been some stuff in the past that they've trialed in Leagues, and then they did bring to the main game. So even if it's like dumbed down a bit. So here's an example of how this works. When you attack something, you get sunlight stacks. So every time I hit, it gives me one more. Now I'm attacking every 2 ticks, same speed as a blowpipe, which is much faster than this is normally. This is a 5-tick weapon, so the same speed as a Scythe in the main game. I'm just attacking every 2 ticks, and that was an Echo. That's just the buffs that you get in the league. So you can go up to 80 specs. 80 stacks, I guess you want to call it. Very similar to the Soul Reaper Axe. The Soul Reaper Axe can go to 5 as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to attack all of these, and then we'll show you the Soul Slam. Here we go. Ready for it? As soon as I click it, instantly slam the ground, and it damages everything. Let's do it again. And it uses 7 of your stacks. Now, I can attack once more and do a 3rd slam. I'm not hitting very big numbers. I'm also completely naked. So, here's how you actually use this in the game right now. Let me put the prey on. You want to, while you're just hitting stuff, you're using your best melee gear. Mine is very janky and weird. I'm going to work on Torva. But yeah, basically you build up your stacks. You then switch into your best prayer gear. And when you hit it with that, 99, 80. Do you see those hits? It rolls based on your prayer bonus. And my prayer bonus is quite high in this gear. So very cool weapon. Very fun to use. I'm really enjoying it. And honestly, like, I kind of want it in the main game. I think it would be pretty sweet. So, anyways, that's what we're looking at here. We're gonna tell you out of here and shut her down. So, looking at the wiki for the Sunlight Spear, the actual what this does in written text, it's a 2-handed weapon. It's a spear and a shield. First time I've seen something like that, unless I'm mistaken. But yeah, like you have one item and it equips both the shield and the spear, which is very cool. You get it from the Echo variant of Soul during Raging Echoes League. Every time you attack, you get a sunlight stack. I showed you that. You can stack up to 20. And then if you don't attack for 30 seconds, you start losing them. If you teleport, you lose them. Stuff like that. But the stats on it are very similar to a Scythe. It gives you a ton of defense bonus. The defense bonus on this thing is similar to a DFS, which is an interesting thought as well. I don't know what they should do for defense in the main game, but and then the strength bonus is pretty fair for a 5-tick weapon. The power of this is not in the weapon itself as just like hitting high numbers and stuff. It's very good. It's It's comparable to a Rapier and an Avernic, for example. It would be comparable to an Osmumpton's Fang, and it's comparable to stuff like that, but it's not comparable to a Scythe. The power of it is when you do that ground slam attack thing, the special attack, which is really cool. And there's how it looks like. So the spec, the way it currently works is for 7 sunlight stacks, you use uses 7 sunlight stacks, and then it will hit all targets within 3 tiles, with damage dealt increasing by 3% per prayer bonus. So if you have 10 prayer bonus, it increases your max hit by 30%. If you have, 50 prayer bonus, it would increase 50 times 3, 150% damage of your max hit. So it gets kind of confusing. Here's what I think. What I think they should do is they should take this, use the exact stats of it, maybe scale back on the defense bonuses. That might be something you want to do, and put that in the main game. If we look at how this compares to a Scythe, here's what you would wear for your gear, just while you're building up your stacks, for example. You would use full Torva, Altor, Prims, Infernal, etc., etc. It has 172 stab bonus, so like that's your accuracy roll. How accurate is it? When you compare that to a Scythe, same gear with a Scythe, 172. Guys, I think they're just trialing it. I think they're like, you know what, let's take a Scythe, let's turn it into a stab weapon, let's put it in, let's test it in leagues. So same main attack like bonus there as the Scythe. So the stab is the same as the slash. The strength bonus is different. This has a higher strength bonus than the Scythe, but you need to remember, if a monster is more than 1 tile, then the Scythe hits like twice, up to 3 times. So 3 tile monsters, you hit 3 times. Like a mega rare fundamentally has some specific things to it. Number 1, it comes from a raid and is mega rare. It's very rare. Number 2, it's a 2-handed weapon and it's 5 ticks. I guess that's number 2 and 3. So 3 is 5 ticks. And then the main thing is that it has a special ability. The Scythe special ability is that it hits monsters more than once if it's bigger. The Shadow is that it multiplies your magic percent stats. And the Tbow is that it rolls accuracy and damage based on the monster's magic level, I believe. So this would fit. It's got a special ability of rolling your max hit based off your prayer bonus. Here, I think they should make it easier to comprehend if it came to the main game. Have it so it's 5 ticks. It has these exact stats, but you build 5 stacks. Every time you hit, you build a stack, so up to 5. 5 hits, and then you can do the special attack. The special attack will hit everything in the area in a 3x3, as long as it's multi-combat. And then that's it. It clears your stacks, just like the Soul Reaper Axe. Make it the same. Make it the same thing as that. Plus, I think they should roll your max hit based on your prayer bonus, just 1 for 1. So in this gear, you have 7 prayer bonus. I think they should take your max hit, which would be 60, and just add 7. So now your max hit with the ground slam attack would be 67. Now, when there's multiple monsters like that, is it too overpowered? Like, as I showed you doing the Blood Velds, like you would be able to like smoke Blood Velds pretty... Guys, Ice Barrage hits 9 monsters, and it hits huge numbers. You've got the Venator Bow that hits multiple monsters and hits huge numbers. You've got Chinchampas that hits... Like, this would be a melee variant of that, basically. I don't think it'd be too overpowered. So 7 prayer bonus in this gear, max hit of 67. Now, if we looked at maybe a more prayer-based setup, your max hit goes down to 59, so actually quite similar. But then you've got 16 prayer bonus already. So you've got a higher max hit, so that would be, quick math, that's hard. 75 would be your max. But what you could do is switch into your gear, switch into your Sunfire gear, and maybe a ring. So this is a 4-way swap. You swap the Torva and the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now you've got 45 prayer bonus and a max of 51. Now, everybody get your calculators out. 51 plus 45, 96. So you could, in essence, have a max hit of about 100 in this gear, which is crazy. Now, do you want to be able to hit 100 on 9 different monsters AoE? No, definitely not. So again, you know what, I'll put a number on. Let's say it will hit 1 monster for your max hit, and all of the adjacent monsters, it will hit for a tenth of that. Maybe up to a max of a tenth of that. So if you're killing like Nilos, it could one-shot Nilos, where you're in that Verzik whatever room, not Verzik, TOB room, and it'll clear them out. Maybe it hits 20% of your max for adjacent monsters, but the main one that you're attacking, it will hit up to 100%, which is 100. So I've created a nice little thingy here. If you're doing 5 attacks, and then you get that instant attack there, this is your average hit versus 0 defense. So if your max hits 60, it'll roll between 1 and 60 divided by 2. It's 30. I know 0's in there as well. But let's say you're guaranteed to hit because it's got 0 defense and you've got full accuracy. You would hit 30 every time. So 30, 30, 30. That'd be like your average hit. And that's how you calculate DPS. With the Scythe, as we can see in this gear, your max hit is 88. So max hit of 60, max hit of 88. So when you average it all out, you're hitting an average of 44 every time. So average of 30 compared to an average of 40, it's not close. But when you get that instant attack, you're essentially taking that 50, you're dividing it here by, I'm saying 50 because it's a 100 max hit basically. So you take your 100 max hit, you divide it by your 5 hits, and your average hit would now be 30 and an extra 10 for every hit. I don't know. If you're not following the math, just trust, bro. But this makes it so you'll be able to hit up to 40s. So 40 average hit compared to a 44 with Scythe. So this is quite balanced. Compared to the Scythe, you're better off DPS-wise to use a Scythe. But by using the Sunlight Spear, you have that capability of using that instant attack at any point that you want, which creates for some cool stuff. You could dump your instant attack at a key moment when it's needed to clear something. You could wait. And let's say you're at TOA in the monkey room, puzzle room there, and you want to clear a bunch of those little gremly boys. You could use that, and it'll clear a bunch of them. I don't know. I like the idea of it. I do like the idea of it. I think it fits into the game. It's been enjoyable. You're running around with your melee gear. You build up your stacks. You can go to 20 in the league. That might be too overpowered to be able to stack that many, because then you're specking. You can do 2 specs in a row, and then a third one that you hit. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty balanced. It also looks dope. Like, look at this. Look how cool this gear looks. I'm all for it. I'm actually all for it. Now, would you add it to the game? Do you think it's worth it? What should this come from? What boss? I'm saying Raids 4 for sure. I'm saying Raids 4. Oh, hey there. Raids 4 in Varlamore. That rhymed by accident, could be the play. This could also, they could reskin this item and have it come from something else. It's not coming from Soul. What you could do, hear me out, is the final boss of Varlamore would be like Soul's brother, Soul Heredit, but this one's like Soul Twitter or something. That could be good. Maybe it's like, instead of worshipping the sun, this guy is like the dark version. He worships the moon. I don't know, man. We're getting into the weeds with it, but I just want this weapon. I like using it. I like building the stacks and then dumping the stacks with the special attack and stuff like that. I like the idea of swapping into your prayer gear to get some use out of prayer. I would like also, I mentioned we've had range from Raids 1. We've had melee from Raids 2 and mage from Raids 3. Fundamentally, prayer as a combat skill is unexplored, and this would explore it as the capability of being something that you actually use for combat. Like, imagine Raids 4 is the way that you unlock a new prayer book, and with that you get a main hand weapon that does basically, instead of melee damage, it's typeless damage. It's prayer damage, and some monsters are weak to prayer. We're getting farther away from old school at that point. I get it. I totally get it. I'm just spitballing ideas, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you want to catch me to talk about this, number 1 place would be in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and like along the way. Number 2, you can join the Gratz clan, Gratz, in-game as a guest. So you click on the double green smiley, you go find, you type Gratz, and you can just hang out there. We can chat. Got some cool people in here. Shout out to the boys in the Gratz clan. Or the Discord. The Discord link is in the description as well. I appreciate you for watching this. Have a great day, whatever day it is that you're watching this. What do you think about McDonald's sweet and sour sauce? Realistically, whenever I get my nuggets, I end up